Hi everyone and welcome to the latest Christmas New Year review, which reviewing all of last night's Boxing Day action and also previewing tonight's action. I've had plenty of racing over the Christmas New Year period already. It's just begun. Plenty of racing. I'm just for people that don't know, I'm totally Speedway's Daniel Powell, and I'll be talking. So what I'm going to do is talk about last night's racing. On Boxing Night, so there's plenty of racing and a few rainouts with Lismore and Archfield Speedway. Both of those tracks, unfortunately, were lost due to rain, but they've been rescheduled for later in the season, later this weekend, later in the season. So unfortunate about that, but that's the way it goes. So what we're going to do, the first biggest meeting that we've had last night was the opening round for World Series Sprint Cars at Murray Bridge Speedway. So that's in South Australia. And that certainly delivered. There was plenty of action going on. There's a number of surprise packets, but in the end, it was Kerry Madsen, who's arguably been for the last 10 years Australia's best driver, not just on the world stage. But Kerry Madsen ended up picking up the win for the Kineric Racing Team. So the current and three-time Australian champion got the job done. He had qualified at position 5, so running a bit behind schedule, and they were unable to do the pole shootout. But Kerry was able to come to the fore. One of the standout performances was local Ryan Jones. He was someone that I picked as one to watch out for, and he was able to bring it home in second. So he was able to get past Jason Johnson. Jason Johnson set the pace early on in the feature race, but Kerry Madsen was able to get to the lead, and from there was never headed. Jason Johnson was passed by Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones, he knows the track like the back of his hand. He's a local boy, Murray Bridge boy. He's a multiple Australian 360 sprint car champion, and he's been on the road with World Series before as a contracted driver. But on this occasion, he came in and stood his ground and put in a great performance. As the racer that he races to win, unfortunately, he was unable to. Disappointed to miss out on the win, but happy at the same time with second place. So his first podium finishing in World Series competition. So well done to Ryan Jones. Third place was Jason Johnson, the 2016 Knoxville Nationals champion. He was able to bring it home in third. He was disappointed. Of course, he races to win like everyone does. But in the end, third was the best place he could do. Another local South Australian-based racer, Matt Eagles, running for the Downing Brothers racing team. He ended up fourth, and he done really well. James McFadden qualified once again further down than he would have liked and played catch-up. He started from position 11 in the field. He got through to fifth place. On the way, him and Jamie Veal, one of his arch rivals with the Monty Motorsport versus Quickie Motorsport team. There was contact. Jamie Veal spun, had to go to the rear of field. James continued. And, that was disappointing, but it only heightens the rivalry between the two teams. Both of those, the last two, McFadden being the defending World Series champion and Jamie Veal being the previous season World Series champion. He was, certainly ruffled a few feathers last night, James McFadden. So, with that, but tonight's a new night. Then home in sixth place was Luke Dillon. He came out of position 10, and always one of the tough ones. And with that, Jamie Cobby, the veteran, he's been racing for many years, both here in Australia and America. But he started the night in perfect fashion. He quick time, so he got the quick time award thanks to Revolution Race Gear, which is an award that's given by the team at World Series Sprint Cars. He topped the time sheets and time trials, but then went on to have a good run and complete the night running 7th in the feature race. So a great night for Jamie Cobby. Great to see him back, the guy that they nicknamed Cheese. But had a great race and brought it home in 7th. That qualified 7th, finished 7th. Completing the top 10 was Daniel Harding from Western Australia, had a really good run. Corey Eliason, he picked up the Hard Charger Award. He qualified further down the field than he had hoped for at a position 16 and was able to pick off 7 spots to bring it home in 9th. And completing the top 10 was David Murcott, former World Series champion, the current Victorian champion. He had his first outing as a World Series contract driver with the Victory Lane Race Gear team and brought it home in 10th. So, great run, but the real standout, Ryan Jones, the budget racer, runs on a budget, a family operation. He's had some highs and lows in this sport driving for other people, and hasn't worked out. But on this occasion, controlling his own destiny, and brings it home in an outstanding second place finish. So well done, and hopefully Ryan can go one better tonight. So Jamie Veal, who was put to the back of the field, he brought it home in 14th. By the time he'd been sent to the back of the field, he was unable to recover, make up on the screen, picked off a few cars, but in the end, 14th was the best he could do for the Crookie Motorsport team. Disappointing night for Veal. McFadden certainly ruffled some feathers, but that brings all the excitement with it. In terms of the other contract drivers, so the 45 drivers in total, 16 contractor drivers. We had Carson Macedo, so he was one of the guys to watch out for. He had an unfortunate night with the Dyson Motorsport team, where he was left into the B main in order to qualify into the feature race, and he ended up crashing out. So that put him out of contention. It's not the best start for Macedo, but now no doubt that Macedo and the Dyson Motorsport team will bounce back. Another fellow American, Dominic Sealsey, running for the Warmall Motorsport team. He had a tough run. He had a mechanical. Sorry, just looking here. Had a broken rear end in the earlier in the night, which then caused other dramas. So, and that put an end to his night premature end. So disappointing, but Sealsey will no doubt come back. Your Lockie McHugh and Mick Sella, two of the World Series rookies, they had forgettable nights, but this will make them better for the run. They were unable to advance out of the C main. So, with that, and a number of the other contractor drivers struggled a bit, but, tonight's a new night. So, with that, and all up, Kerry Madsen picked up the $10,000 winner's check. So, well done to Madsen, and certainly, he'll be looking to pick up. He's not doing the whole of World Series, but he'll be looking to pick up the Speedway Series crown. So, with that. So World Series, so the points are looking like at the moment. So Kerry Madsen leads with 325 points. Ryan Jones is second with 303. Then we've got Jason Johnson with 292. Matt Eagle with 278. James McFadden in fifth with 246. Luke Dillon with 238 and sixth. In seventh, Jamie Cobby, 233. Then it goes down to Daniel Harding with 215, Brock Hallett with 205, and Corey Eliason with 204. That completes the top 10. So, great start for World Series. A really juicy track, plenty of passing there, rewarded the brave, and just saw a guy like Ryan Jones really stand up to the more established teams. So, bring on tonight. So they've got the second round that's coming tonight. It's a double header at Murray Bridge Speedway. So we've got that. And the support classes. So unfortunately, due to time constraints, the wingless sprint feature race was unable to be run. So that was disappointing. They had a strong field, including current Australian champion Joel Chadwick. In the street stocks, you had Nigel Reichstein. He picked up yet another win. Second was Trey Ballantyne, and third was Patrick Monahan. So, with that. And then we had Valvoline Raceway. So that was the boxing night. They had a big crowd rock up at Sydney's Valvoline Raceway. You had, for the annual Australian Grand Prix, which was presented by Valvoline Oils. It was Robbie Farr who put it on pole position, was able to lead from start to finish, 35 laps non-stop. The night was littered with stoppages due to rain and one in time trials, and later in the night in the B main, and then where the teams had to hot lap to bring the track together back. Fortunately they were able to do that. The feature race, they were really pushing it with curfew, but they were able to go on and get the job done, get the night finished, and really hustle and rewarded with a feature race result in the end. For Robbie Farr, it was back-to-back Australian GP wins for himself. He won it last season. He won it a couple of years before that as well. He's the second driver at Valvoline Raceway this season to win 2 feature races, the other being Sammy Walsh. So far the wins have been spread out, but we're getting some drivers that are picking up a couple more features, a couple more wins along the way. So Sammy Walsh picking up 2 this season, and Robbie Farr doing likewise, picking up 2 on Saturday night. Ian Madsen, he had certainly had an eventful start to the night. It's his first appearance running for the Jamie Matheson New South Wales number 4 car. He qualified 5th. He was up there fighting for second before he dropped back to 8th, had a bit run, but then hustled back and ended up running second. So a good run by Ian Madsen. Sorry, that's Kerry's younger brother. He brought it home in second place. Troy Little picked up his first podium finish for the season, so that he brought it home in third, qualified second. Ben Atkinson, that was back to his second, fourth placing for the season, qualified fourth, finished fourth. Daniel Sayer, another one to put in he's had a really strong start to this season, and that has no doubt continued. Qualified seventh, ended up fifth. Considering the current calibre drivers he was up against to bring it home in top five, he was wrapped with that. James Thompson, once again, consistent. The top 10 was finished completed by Matt Dumsney in seventh, Sammy Walsh in eighth. Jackson Delamont, in his best finish performance for this season, brought it home inside the top 10 in ninth, and Danny Reedy, who had qualified third but was disappointed to drop back throughout the feature race to end up 10th. So. And then we've got, the next action continues for round 8 of the US Ultimate Sprint Car Championship, New South Wales, on Thursday night, so not tonight, tomorrow night. American Buddy Kofoid, he's running for the Gordon family team, so that's Peter Gordon and the dad Bernie, so he's raced for many years, but they brought Buddy Kofoid, which his first name is Michael, 16-year-old teenage sensation. He was certainly quick. He qualified third in his time trial group, so having never raced at the track before, but was able to punch out a good time in time trials that rewarded him with a good spot. In his heat race, he didn't finish due to the front end being clogged up with mud. There's a very boggy track due to the rain, but Buddy certainly, due to dropping his heat race, he had to come through the C main. He ran second to Jesse Addard in the C main, then qualified to the B, was coming through, finished 11th in the B main, which was cut short due to the rain. So that put him out. Buddy certainly, opened some eyes, for a 16-year-old with limited experience, his first international trip here to Australia, done really well and opened some eyes, but no doubt if he can, everything can go his way, no doubt that he'll be running closer to the front of the field. So good luck, Buddy. And the support classes, you had the MK Nationals. They had Shane Cartwright's his second win for the season at Valvoline Raceway. His third of the season. He won earlier this season at Nowra Speed on the South Coast, his home track. Second was Wayne Simpson, who ran his second podium finish for the year, so a great year. And Russ Hardy come all the way from northern New South Wales to bring it home in third place. So Russ, he usually does some miles on the road, and that's just starting now, and he comes down to Sydney and races. Last start winner at Valvoline Raceway in the MK Nationals, Spano Giochies. He had a big crash earlier in the night, and there was some substantial damage to the front end where it was tweaked to one side. So a complete front end swap for Spano there. Unfortunately, he was in great form, but these things happen. And in the legend cars, you had 30-plus cars amongst the nominations. It was the Camilleri brothers, Nathan and Liam. So Nathan, he's the current Australian number 3 in legend cars. He finished third in the inaugural Australian Championship last season at Valvoline Raceway. He picked up the win. His younger brother, Liam, who finished also in top 10 of the Australian title, he brought it home in third. So it was the first podium finish for Liam in the legend cars, but the first for the brothers, so that made it special having a double podium for the Camilleri brothers, the two youngsters from Western Sydney out of the Speedway kart ranks. Splitting the pair was Liam Heaton, so the Canberra-based racer. He'd done all he could to get past Nathan, but was unable to do so and had to set off the second, but splitting a 1-2 finish for the Camilleri family. So with that, then we go down to south. We go to Geelong's Avalon Raceway. So this was the Gold Cup, which doubled as the 7th round for the Eureka Garages and Sheds series. It was Luke Walker. So Luke Walker is a guy that last season had his season brought to a premature end due to a lower back injury when he had a crash, and that put him out. So he was missing for all this season, for the bulk of last season, as he nursed he recovered from those lower back injuries. He come back this season. The Max's race at Warrnambool's Premier Speedway just under a fortnight ago. He finished in the top 10, which was an outstanding effort. I spoke to him shortly after that, and he was wrapped with the result, but then he was able to get it done last night at Geelong's Avalon Raceway, where he was able to, he qualified fourth, but then he just had lightning speed throughout the feature. He was quick all night, but he was able to chase it. Sean Dobson had got to an early lead running the David Dixon Victoria number 3 car. But Luke Walker just seemed like he was in another postcode where he was able to chase down Sean and in the end take the lead off him. So he took the lead on lap 17. From there, he was unchallenged, and Sean was ran second in the end. But Luke Walker, awesome result. It's great to see another youngster come through. So Luke Walker had a little dabble in wingless sprints before that go-karting. So he's done a lot of go-karting around regional Victoria. And so he's got a good racing background. But in this sprint car, he seems to be, he's one guy to watch out for. I'm really excited about seeing what he's got for the rest of the season, because you've got a lot of youngsters. You've got Corey McCulloch, you've got Brayden Parr, you've got Rusty Hickman, of course. All these guys are coming through. Victoria's certainly a hotbed when it comes to future talent with sprint cars, and we've got James McFadden now, obviously an original NT boy, but you've got Jamie Veal, Jai O'Keefe, Grant Stansfield, all these guys coming through, so it's really exciting. So behind Luke Walker was Sean Dobson. So Sean was leading. He started from the front row. He led for most of the feature race of the first half of the feature race. He had a good battle with pole sitter Brad Warren, who was making his second appearance for the season, running for the Bruce Stevens owned car. Sean ended up in second. It's his first podium finish for the season, the first for the David Dixon Motorsport team. So that's great. Completing the podium was Corey McCulloch. Corey McCulloch, that's his third podium finish for the season. Once again, continue his great start to the season consistently. And then he's running up the front there. He's not winning races yet, but and you can see he's plugging away and he's doing a lot with that, and a win shouldn't be too far away for him. So fourth place was Brayden Parr. Brayden Parr came out of the B main, started from position 13 and went on to finish just off the podium in fourth. So a really hard charging performance from Brayden Parr. In the Brett Milbourne, the former Eureka Garages and Shed Series champion, ended up fifth after starting from 10th. Our current Eureka Garages and Shed Series leader, Rusty Hickman, so the 18-year-old, he started from the position 18 and was able to charge his way forward, stay at the trottle and end up sixth, and that only consolidated his lead in the point stands. He leads the Eureka Garage and Shed Series point standings ahead of Brett Milbourne, who's leaped Tim Hutchins now from Tasmania for second, and Tim Hutchins has fallen back to third. Completing the top 10 was Brad Warren, who put it on pole position, was strong all night. Come from the rear of his heats to win his heat, so he was flying. Led early, showed plenty of fight throughout the feature race, but in the end, I think a lack of race fitness caught up with him, and a lot of the other cars have done about 10 races prior to him. He's only done two of his two. So, but Brad gets more track time, he'll be quick. So it's a top car, Bruce Stevens, with his supplies. So it's a car that Liam Williams has driven before, David Murcott before that, Harley Bishop. So there's been a number of drivers in that car, and Brad Warren certainly knows how to drive. And with more track time, there's no doubt that he will be ran up the front, be able to get the job done. Peter Dukas, he came from the B main, he ran 8th. Bobby Daly, so he's recently come out of the VSC sprint car. So last season progressed out of the VSC sprint cars. He finished 9th, and Grant Stansfield, another newcomer to the 410 sprint cars out of Formula 500s, he qualified 12th and finished 10th. So a confidence-boosting top 10 result for Grant Stansfield. Rod Matthews had a big crash in the A main, in the feature race, but not as big as John Vogels, who had a big crash when he hit the wall. To the point where he hit the wall and then the car bounced back, but the wing was still there, so he hit it with that force. It's ripped the wing off, and the car just rolled around while the other cars tried to avoid him. So he'd come to a slow stop down towards the bottom of the track in turns 3 and 4 at Avalon. So, it was a tough night for John Vogel, so a really heavy hit. So, with that. And then tonight they're running at Simpson Raceway for the 8th round of the Eureka Garage and Shed Series. So in the support class, you had the modified sedans for the Christmas Cup, so their annual event. I had former Australian champion Andrew Blackwell, who picked up the win. Second was Matt Gerlach, and third was Matt Nelson. So a great run by Andrew Blackwell, who's recently come back. He won the 2010 Australian modified sedan title. And he'll be looking to, he's come back this season after a long hiatus of about 5 to 6 years, so it's great to see him back. So, and unfortunately, Brisbane's Archfield Speedway in Queensland, they had their sixth washout for the season. They can't take a trip. This time the meeting was washed out during time trials, so they had the, Donny Schatz, the 10-time Knoxville Nationals champion, 9-time World of Outlaws champion. He was there. Logan Schuhart, fellow American. He's one of the newcomers to the World of Outlaws scene. And they pretty much got through 3/4 of the time trial sessions, and the rain came out, washed it out. It's the 6th time this season that Archfield's been washed out. They're certainly not having the best of run. It's been rescheduled to tomorrow night, so it's going to be the Thursday night. So that's December 28th. So we've got that. And then we have the opening round over on the West Coast at the Boxing Day Bonanza at Perth Motorplex in Western Australia. They had the first round of the Australia vs USA Speedway Series. And in the end, it was Parker Price Miller, the American, running for the Hardy team. He arrived at the track late due to truck issues, but he was able to, hadn't stepped in the car yet, got in there, done hot laps, time trials, done all that. Got through in the feature race, started in position 5, got to the lead by lap 10 and was never headed. So, strong start for Parker Price Miller. So, he's exciting. He's one of those newcomers that we don't really know a whole lot about. And, it's exciting. Second was Jamie Mialo. Third was Brad Mialo. So, the brothers ran second and third. AJ Nash put in his best drive. So, the third-generation racer, he ended up home in 4th. Ryan Lancaster, a top 5 result that he was happy with in 5th. Darryl Clayton made his return to 410 sprint cars. He's raced everything from wingless sprints. He's former Australian champion in that. He won that in 2010 back at Mount Gambier's Borderline Speedway. He's run speed cars, went second in the national title there. But Darryl Clayton's coming back. He ran for the Warmwood team last year, but this year he's running his own deal, but it's with the sponsorship support, which includes from the Warmwood Civil. So with that, Jamie Landegren was 7th, 8th was Paul Pete, and 9th was Troy Buckingham. So then we've got Ben Element. He was in the Wars in the feature. He was actually getting lapped, and then he fell back. It was around lap 26 when there was an accident and cars were going everywhere, sort of thing. So unfortunately, that put Ben Element and a number of other cars out. Speaking of DNFs, there was Ryan Smith, who was running for the American. He was running for the Kendrick Racing team. He failed to finish due to mechanical issues suffered. Sorry, it's a long time to go. We got heaps of time. On lap 26, that put him out. So round 2. Sorry, my phone. I thought I put it to silence. Round 2 is going to be run this Saturday night at Bunbury Speedway. So it's really exciting to, see that. In the support class, we've got Neville Lance. He made his return for this season, who picked up the win. This win put him to the 3rd all-time winners list in the Perth Motorplex for feature race winners. So well done to Neville Lance, who won the Australian title at the Perth Motorplex. He's won an only Australian title back in 2014, I think it was. So with that, on this occasion, WA Speed Cars President Glenn Mears picked up another 2nd place. So he's been in good form and been chipping away, and no doubt the win will come soon. Kean Fleming, one of the youngsters, he was 3rd. And the late models was round 7 of the Pro Dirt Series, and that went to Kai White. Kai White's been preparing his car and getting everything ready for this season. He made his debut for the season and made it a winning one. So well done, Kai White. He's one of the youngsters coming through. Just got to work on consistency, of course, but no doubt with more track time, he'll be out there. He spent the off season in America learning the ropes, and yeah, it's great to see. Second was Ryan Halliday, who's picked up 3 wins so far this season, and third was the veteran Craig Vosbergen. In the wingless sprints, it was Matt Ivanhoe, the youngster. He picked up his 6th win for this season, so he's had 6 wins so far in the wingless sprints, and yeah, he proved really strong at the Motorplex. Second was Tom Payet, and third was 2-time Australian champion Daniel Hardigan. So that's awesome to see. In the Formula 500, you had Chris Dimmick, who drove to the win. Glenn Carstens, the current WA champion, was second, and third was Luke Nardini. I think that's how you say it with that. So yeah, well done to everyone in the wingless in the Formula 500. So certainly, and I was actually seeing like Dirt Track Nutters watching all their coverage, and Jason Sutton does a great job going around throughout the pits and talking to everyone and doing all the footage with that. And the Formula 500s, the level of professional they put up, not only in WA but across this whole country, is awesome. So it's really first class, and it really looks, the cars look immaculate. But yeah, just want to, speaking of that with the Dirt Track, I must say it's awesome to see. So it was a great interview that Jason Sutton did with the legend of Speedway, promoting and all those sort of things, Con Migro. So it's really good, a 5-minute interview with that, and that really worked well. And it's great to see them unearth the WA versus Australia, or the Australia versus USA Speedway series. So with that, Carrick Speedway, they had their annual Boxing Day meetings. This is their 50th of season for the Tasmanian track. And the sprint cars, Adrian Redpath, his first win for the season. Chris Johns was second. Third was Jason Redpath, who's picked up 2 wins so far this season. Kurt Smith was 4th, and 5th was Kurt Luttrell. There's an interesting video that went viral that I was sent by Luke Redpath, one of the wingless sprint races, of the tyre, like the track, Redpath started from position 1. Chris Johns started second, finished second. Jason Redpath started third, finished third. Kurt Smith started 4th. You guessed it, finished 4th. Kurt Luttrell started 5th, finished 5th. And yeah, so with that, there was an interesting video that I put up earlier this morning. It's went viral. There's been over 15,000 people have already seen this video online, of the tyres actually on fire for Kurt Smith. There was another car behind him. I think that was Kurt Luttrell. And the tyres actually, it was frying. Like they were actually on fire. So it's amazing footage where I was watching it this morning, and I was scratching my eyes, just going, "Are you serious? Like, is that actually on fire?" And the tyres were on fire. So it's amazing to see. And then I got sent a photo from one of the team members of the tyres, and they were badly damaged. So pretty amazing footage, and that's went viral. So if you want to go to my Facebook page, go and check in the videos, and you'll see it from Carrick Speedway. And the other class is Daniel Brooks, the current Tasmanian champion. He picked up the win. The Bassett father and son, Adrian, held out his dad Rodney for the second place finish on the podium. And the Formula 500's Jock Goodyear, I think it's his 6th win now in the Formula 500s. The youngster picked up yet another win. Former Tasmanian champion Nick Kingshot picked up 2nd place, and Dylan Beveridge was 3rd. In the modified sedans, Brad Herbert picked up his 5th win for the season in the modified sedans. He's had 8 starts, and I think he's had 5 wins and 3 second-place finishes. So a great run by Brad Herbert. He's certainly stepped into the class this season after coming out of wingless sprints, and before that, junior sedans. And yeah, really running really well. Smiley Craig Williams was 2nd. He won the previous meeting. Brad McKendrick, which is Brad Herbert's brother-in-law, was 3rd. In the super sedans, it was veteran Dave Nichols who scored the win. Robert Bird and Wayne Dillon filled the minor positions on the podium. In the Tassie Sixers, it was Cameron Briggs, the current state champion, who scored the win. Peter Johnston and Todd Russell completed the top 3 finishes there. In the wingless sprints, it was Luke Redpath, the current Australian number 2 and Tasmanian number 1. He picked up his 4th win for the season. Jacob Goodluck, who was his 2nd podium finish for the season, was 2nd, and Ryan Hardy, in his 1st podium finish for the season, ended up 3rd. Western Springs Speedway. They ran for the opening round of the International Midget Series, so that was at Western Springs Speedway in Auckland, New Zealand, and it was we had 3 Australians that were competing: Dane Kingshot from Western Australia, Michael Stewart from Canberra in the ACT, and Caden Brown from here in Sydney in New South Wales. Unfortunately, the feature race was cancelled due to the rain. So they'd run the sprint car feature race. There was a big crash by Hayden Wims, who's come out here around here this season running for Mark Cooper. Had a massive crash and got some serious airtime the size of the top of the catch fence. So it's amazing. I'll put up some photos of that later. But so the delay that happened on lap 1, so that put everyone out. That extensive delay. The rain came and wiped it out. So unfortunate, it was disappointing. The sprint car feature race got run by them, but unfortunately the speed car feature, I don't know what happened with the radar. So with that. Dane Kingshot, he was the only guy to qualify into the feature race, which was unfortunately washed out. He qualified 6th for the feature race, done really well. Earlier in the team's races, he ran 5th, 8th and 5th. Michael Stewart ran 6th and 5th in the team races, had a big crash in the 3rd race. He rolled 4 or 5 times, but miraculously, it wasn't damaged. And the car, like Michael Stewart, got my hat on there, representing Michael Stewart. So, this big crash in turns 1 and 2, or 3, 1 and 2. I'm just trying to think where the finish line is. Yeah, it's 1 and 2. Going to turn 1, crashed. There was no damage, and he was able to continue on the rest of the night. He ended up 10th in the he lined up 10th in the semi-main, which is the B main equivalent here, and was unable to finish the semi-main and advance into the feature race. Caden Brown, there's teenage sensation in the team's races. He ran 9th, 7th, and 8th. He missed out on a feature race spot. Ran 6th for the semi-main, but Caden will be better for this. They're running again on the 30th, so they'll be back at Western Springs for that. So really excited to see, and great to see young blood getting a lot of experience with that. So we've got a few other classes to wrap up from. We've just got an hour, so I've just got to make sure that I get all this under it. We have the Adelaide Motorsport Park in South Australia, the Boxing Day Rumble it was called, but I think I'll rename it the Boxing Day Fumble. Like, it's just a farce, the joint. Like, it's a shadow of its former self. Like, although, Wendy Turner was far from perfect running under Wendy and Bob Silcock's management, but geez, this is out of control. The dust, it was atrocious. I saw some footage of it, and it's a bit of everything. I know they're trying different things and all that, but I don't know. But so they had a Boxing Day Rumble. I've named it the Boxing Day Fumble because it's a disgrace. And Adelaide Speedway, the sport of speedway in Adelaide deserves better, sort of thing. I don't mind people having a go, but jeez, don't know. With that. So with the street stocks, they're holding their national title here this season, and the street stock feature race was cancelled due to the track conditions. They were atrocious. You couldn't see anything, and come on, this is Boxing Day meeting wonder Wendy Turner and Bob Simcoe. Used to be the biggest meeting for the year. How the World Series got record crowds. They loved it, but now it's not happening. So the street stocks, their feature race was cancelled, which I'd be annoyed. It's a $1,000 to win show. So to have that pulled out from under them due to the track conditions, like it was a joke. You couldn't see it was dangerous. The crowd didn't get much of a crowd, but with that. It was cancelled, disappointing, and hopefully the conditions for the Australian title is going to be held there later this season. It's going to be a lot better. It needs to be and deserves to be. Street stocks are one of the best classes in the country, for competition-wise, and if you're going to dish up a crap track for them, that's not fair. That's just a slap in the face for the Speedo sedans. Australia Council, and seriously, consider your options there for that. And in the junior sedans, you had Tyson Gregg, who got the feature race completed. Nathan Fawn and Aaron Tranter finished in 2nd and 3rd place, respectively. Carina Speedo, Bundaberg Motorplex, I'm not sure what it's called, it's the home of Carina Speedo, up in Queensland. Late models, they had their opening of the US versus Australia challenge, and it was Cody Marnie who scored the win, the American. 2nd was current Australian champion Callum Walker, and 3rd was Gary Pagel, a former Australian modified sedan champion. Fourth was Nick Girdleston, the veteran, and fifth was Jason Smith, the fellow American. So that action continues tonight. We've got another meeting that's on tonight for the round 2 of the Australia vs US Late Model Showdown. So with that, we had Curry Speedway in the Hunter Valley of New South Wales for the Jason Crump Cup. And it was Rowan Tungate, who was the star of the Australian Grand Prix that was running down in Melbourne, where he won 2 heats as a reserve. He scored the win. Second was Sam Masters. Third was Mason Campton. And fourth was Jack Holder, the younger brother of 2012 Australian champion Chris Holder. Justin Sedgman, one of the top riders, unfortunately, he broke his collarbone in 3 spots. Like, these riders are insane. Like, it's just like break it in 3 spots. So your collarbone, you're in a sling, and it'll be a lot of pain. But these riders are used to it, but they get back on and do some more with that. So yeah, a great meeting. Unfortunately, the weather was a bit dicey here in Sydney and New South Wales for that matter. With Lismore and obviously Curry battled up against it, but they got the meeting in, and yeah, it was a success. And well done to Ron Tungate, the local, for getting the win. In Bairnsdale in Victoria, that's in the Gippsland area, they had plenty of racing. They had their big meeting on the 3rd round of the Victorian Series. That was won by current Victorian champion Peter Nicola. Second was Andrew White from New South Wales. It was a great result for him, his best result for the season. And third was Mick Nicola Jr. In the compact speed cars, it was Mark Heaton from New South Wales that scored the win. Butch Hutchinson was second from Victoria, and third was Jason Essie, another Canberra-based racer. So the interstate invaders, were separated by Butch Hutchinson. In the VSC sprint cars, you had Mitch Foster, who's been running 14 sprint cars for many seasons now, and I think 5-6 years ago was running VSC sprint cars regular. That's where he cut his teeth in the sport. He made his return to VSC sprint cars and made it a triumphant one by coming away with the win. Second was Jerry Hoskrissa, I think that's it, the Canadian base. He's originally from Tasmania. He's now living in Victoria. And third was Mick Fallon. So well done for everyone there. In the wingless sprints, they had the opening night of their doubleheader. They'll be running tonight at Rosedale Speedway, just an hour down the road from Bairnsdale. The veteran Tony Mill scored the win ahead of another veteran in Peter Logue, and third was Peter Logue's son, Wayne, in third. The night was brought to a premature end in the feature race when youngster Todd Hobson, who was leading for many laps, had a collision with Tony Mill, and that put Todd out. A lot of extensive damage. He had a trip into the ambulance. It's an unfortunate run for Todd. It was a big crash, but he was fighting for the lead, and there was some unnecessary contact there from Tony Mill, which he did admit was accidental, and then that put Todd out in a big way, and their trip to the ambulance. So unfortunate to see. Then we had Waganya on the New South Wales Victorian border, the Noel McGrath Memorial. That was won by current Australian and Victorian champion Trevor Mills. So the Waganya-based Corolla and nearby. It's about 5 minutes down the road from there. And Trevor Mills picked up the win. Brendan Harper was second, and third was Jack Milthorpe. Lismore Speedway, unfortunately, got rained out, so Northern New South Wales got some battering at this time of year when it comes to rain. That was going to be having the opening round of the Mr. Modified Series, which is going to see the return of current Australian or former Australian champion Mark Robinson, the Lismore-based racer who's been out for the last 12 months, but he was making a return. You had Scott Cannon, who's the current Australian number 2 and current Victorian champion, and Andrew Pizzuti, who's been in good form. He's picked up 2 wins there. 2 wins this season, one being the Lord Mayor's Cup at Lismore Speedway, and also the feature race win at Archfield Speedway. So it's going to be an interesting battle, but it wasn't to be, in the rain one. Round 1 now of the Mr. Modified Series is going to be held on January 6th, so that's in just over a week's time. Back at Lismore Speedway, round 2 will be rescheduled, no doubt. David Lander and the promotion team will be pushing that through with that. So that completes all the racing from last night. I must thank Sean McDonald. He's coming in and helping me. So for people that don't know Sean, he's he works for the Sprint Car Control, the Sprint Car Association of New South Wales. Sorry, I'll get it right. And he works hard for them. He does a bit of stuff for Oval Express magazine. He wrote a feature story in the the most latest issue on Mick Salah, the World Series rookie. He's coming in to help me out over these busy periods while one of my other staff members takes a bit of a break, which is well earned. So Sean and me have been compiling all that information. So, yeah, guys. So thanks for that, and I'm glad. Hopefully you enjoyed it. So then talking about tonight's racing. So we've got the second round of the World Series Sprint Car Championship. And that's also the second round of the Speedway Series, and that's attracted 45 cars. There was no major crashes or engine problems or anything like that for anyone over the weekend. Last night, and then they'll be back again. So it's going to be interesting to see a fresh night, the two separate nights. Karen Madsen obviously wanting to go back-to-back. Jamie Veal wanting to make redemption after the incident with James McFadden. Ryan Jones wanting to go one better. Jason Johnson, you've got all the Americans with that too. They're going to be going hard, and I've just got a comment from BJ Jordan. 40 degrees at Murray Bridge today too, so the action's going to be hot on the track, and hopefully the track's not affected too much, but the temperature's going to be hot, but I'm sure everyone will rise to the occasion. So with that, everyone will be coming to the pits now. So we've got that on the support classes. You've got Formula 500s, V6 Sprints, and Junior Sedans, so they're going to be running. We've got Simpson Speedway tonight, so that's round 8 of the Eureka Garages and Shed Series. So Simpson Speedway is one of the most unique speedways. It's kind of like an egg shape, but it's really, really good track, creates a lot of good racing. They've attracted 27 cars. We're looking to go back. Luke Walker's amongst the nomination. That's his home track, so he'll be looking to go back-to-back, and no doubt he'll be right up there. And it also collaborates the opening round of the Speedway Series. So it used to be known as the Oval Express Formula 500 Series, but the Speedway Series, they're running their 36 cars tonight for the opening round. You've got Frank Galusha from Lincoln in Nebraska. He's the international flavour for the series, and he's going to be running 30 contracted drivers in total out of the 36 nominations. The defending Speedway Series champion was Liam Williams. Unfortunately, he's not defending that because he's overrunning the Tulsa Shootout in America. But amongst the nominations, you've got there's nominations from all over the country except Western Australia and Northern Territory. But then you've got Chris Bellman, who was the highest place finisher of last season's events. It's actually nominated. You had Grant Stansfield, who ran third, I think he did, but he's obviously got the sprint cars. With that, and he ran fourth last season. He's got good form heading into it. He won the King of Bridge at Murray Bridge Speedway, so he'll be one to look out for. He's ran second in the past, about 4 or 5 years ago. He ran second in his first attempt at Speedway Series, so he'll be hoping to go one better. He's better for the experience. His younger brother, Dion, he's the current South Australian champion. He won last season's Make-Up South Australian Championship, was held earlier this season at Mount Gambier's Borderline Speedway. And he ended up, so he'll be going in there looking, no doubt he'll be running up the front. Both the Bellman brothers have been in top form, but it's hard to gauge because there's so much tough competition. You'll have one guy that'll be tough one week, and then someone else will step up. So it's really hard to gauge heading into this Speedway Series when in the past you've had guys like James Aaron Ossie, who ran second in last season's series, who's not racing this season. His wife, Ashley, she'll be racing. So with that, so amongst the nominations, you've got Jack Bell from Victoria, Lee Van and Dale Sinclair. Dale Sinclair ran fifth in last season's Speedway Series. You've got Shane DeHooven. He's up there. He's a capable front runner. And then we've got Stephen Bell, the veteran. He's been running for many years. He's recently made a step back into the Formula 500s, and he'll be looking to do that again. I've got a shrew of Queenslanders. Got Caden Iverson, former Australian number 2 Queensland champion, KRE Series Championship front runner. He'll be there. Ryan Skinner, Ryan McNamara. So those guys that are looking to run with that. You've got Randy Morgan, who's a youngster. He's the son of Richard Morgan, who's the former sprint car racer who's done a lot of racing down south. He's running now, bringing Randy down to get some more experience. So that shall be good. Tonight we've also got, staying in Victoria, we've got Nyora Speedway in the Gippsland region of New South Wales. So New South Wales, Victoria, what am I talking about? Sorry, it's been a long day. Nyora Speedway. And that's going to be, held at, so Nyora Speedway is on the way to Phillip Island, which is one of the most picturesque road racing circuits in the world. V8 Supercar events, MotoGP, World Superbike Championships. And so with that, so they've got the headline in this event is the Grand in the Hand event, which is, as I say, is Grand in the Hand. And that's held for V8 Jet Modifieds. Last season's event was unfortunately cancelled due to rain. But the defending champion from the season before will be Daryl Hickson. So he's a local and he'll be going to win that. Before that, Paul Tyndall, who's also nominated, he won it in 2015, and before that, I think it was Mick Corelli who won the races. V8 Jet Modifieds. But you've got Stephen Milthorpe, who's the current Queensland champion, he'll be there. Former Australian number 3, Brett Clark, he'll be there, and veteran Lloyd Hobson. So there's plenty of challenges there. In the past, it's been, and you've got there's half a dozen of some of Victoria's best races. So it'll be really tough, but I'll be excited to see Zach Edwards go out there. He ran second on debut the other week, running at Rushworth, I think it was. Just off the top of my head, it was Avalon that they were running at. So, and Zeke Edwards ended up coming home with the second place finish on debut. Also, you've got VSC Sports Sedans for their New Year's Challenge. Now you've got Standard Saloons, Open Sedans, SSA, Junior Sedans, and Lady Standard Saloons. So plenty of action there. The Grand in the Hand event, it's always a popular one, well supported, and looking forward to seeing how that pans out tonight, not tomorrow. Carina Speedway, they're coming back, the Bundaberg Motorplex. So we've got that. I've got the second round of the US versus Australia showdown, so that'll have Jason Moore and who's the other guy? Sorry. I just trying to remember there. We've got Cody Marnie. So with that. So the two Americans, but obviously Nick Kirsten, Callum Harper, they'll be up there to run through. I've got Central Queensland sprint cars on there, modified sedans, street stocks, junior sedans, service paradise sedans, open sedans, and Bundy bangers. I'm not sure too much about them. It sounds like a fire explosion. Round 2 of the US versus WA Speedway series was meant to be held at Avon Valley Speedway, so that's just outside Perth. So that were meant to be held the second round of the Speedway. So unfortunately that was cancelled. That's no longer run. Tonight we've got Rosedale Speedway, so that's the Gippsland double header. So they ran last night at Bairnsdale, and now they're running at Rosedale. So the double header, that's headlined by the 4th round of the Victorian Super Sedan Series. So they'll be running their VSC sprint cars, of course, Standard Saloons, Division 2 hot rods, wingless sprints, junior stand saloons, and a kids bike race. So there's plenty of action going on there with that. And today it all starts the Tulsa Shootout, which is from Micro 600s, which is the 33rd running of the Tulsa Shootout. So it's going to be held at the Tulsa Expo Raceway in Oklahoma. That's the 33rd running. Micro 600s are the equivalent of Formula 500s here. And then we've got 4 Australians, so it's the biggest event. So everyone's packing in now, getting everything ready. The action gets underway tomorrow. But you've got 4 Australians. I'm so excited about that. It's going to be really good to see. So you've got Liam Williams, the current and 3-time Australian champion, won everything here in Australia. So I can't wait to see him on the world stage and see what he can do. Hopefully he's got a strong ride where he can really make a good fist of things. Marcus Kelly from Tasmania. This is his 3rd attempt in a row at the Tulsa Shootout. He'll be looking to get into the feature race field, no doubt. Christian Kelly, which is no relation to Marcus, also from Tasmania. This will be his 2nd attempt. He ran last year. And we've got Danny Carroll, who's originally from Victoria, but based in California these days and racing over there with his dad and his American wife. So, with that and Danny Carroll, so there'll be 4 Australians running. This is the biggest handling that we've had for this event, so that's really exciting. So that completes everything. We've been chatting for just on 50 minutes now, but thanks everyone for tuning in. Please stay safe. Please like, comment, share as many as you can, and look forward. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And also tonight we're going to be having the Q&A, so I'm going to try that about 7:30 tonight. So yeah, hopefully you can tune in. Hopefully my voice isn't gone. I've lost my voice, so many will say that's a good thing. So, guys, yeah, please like, comment, share. Appreciate the support, and yeah, stay safe tonight. Hopefully the weather gods are good and we can get all the racing and no more rainouts. But yeah, guys, all right. Thanks once again. I'll see you tonight at 7:30 when I'm doing the Q&A. Okay, see you. Bye.